Are you winning? Do you need help in your life or business? Could you use some inspiration, business strategies, and success principles? I'm Daniel Gomez, award-winning business coach, keynote speaker, and best-selling author. On the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, we will help you create a successful life and elevate your business. Together, we will discover the keys that unlock your success and dreams. Welcome back to another episode of the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, where we educate, we inspire, and we motivate you. I'll tell you what, I'm very, very excited for today. I got a dear friend of mine. I had the pleasure of meeting this wonderful, wonderful woman, man, 5 years ago already. And it seems like I just met her yesterday. Pero la cosa bonita es que hablamos español, so a ver si vamos poquito español en este episode. I'm going to speak some Spanish, but we're going to have some fun. And Kandy Windom, welcome to the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, Kandy.
Oh, thank you for having me here, Daniel. That's just a blessing to have fun with you, and especially with your audience right now who is watching us.
Yeah, so don't judge my Spanglish, okay? Because I know you speak amazing, amazing Spanish. And actually, you're right now in your homeland, which is beautiful. But Kandy, I know the beautiful, amazing entrepreneur, leadership coach you are. Introduce yourself to the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, please.
Awesome. So first, you got to know, you probably heard like listen to a little bit accent. I'm Colombian. I'm from Colombia. I've been there. And actually right now I'm in Colombia. So I'm so excited to just visit home. And something that you need to know about me is that I care about people. And that's how I started my organization in coaching small businesses to become better and to become a better leaders. And not just that, but also to become a better communicator, better sales warrior. And that's how I started my organization, KW Coaching Group, just to support the Latinas entrepreneurs. Listen to this, Latinas entrepreneurs. Even though you girls are so skeptical, you need me.
Híjole, I'm telling you. And you know what? Just for the record, I've never told you this, but I love your accent. So that's your gifting. That's what sets Kandy apart, is that beautiful Colombian accent. Me gusta, right? I like it. So it's, hey, one thing that I've realized is you got to walk in the gift that God's given us, right? So many times we try to walk in somebody else's gift. But the fact is, God brought you from Colombia to the United States, and you have that accent because it's going to help you stand out and be different when the other people just sound the same, and you don't want to sound ordinary because you're amazing, Kandy. So thank you for being with us. I don't even know where to start, right? I'm just like, I'm so excited you're here. But the honest thing is, ladies and gentlemen, get out your pen, get out your paper. Don't let Kandy's beautiful accent mislead you. She's very wise. So you know what we do here at the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show? We take notes. What you write down, you retain over 50% of it. So I want you to take your notes, and after the episode, go back and study your notes. Listen to the wisdom that Kathy's going to drop today. And because she's amazing, she's beautiful. And right now she's coaching internationally, actually in Colombia. So Kandy, the first question I want to ask you is, what is it about people that you love, that you travel to Colombia? You were just in Australia coaching over there. What makes a person travel all over different continents and countries just to add value to them?
Well, that is a really, really important question. As one of the things is that when I started my organization, I was like, I need to impact people, but I didn't know how. So one of the things that some people tell me, okay, Kandy, you got to start online. But like, yes, but who's going to be watching me if I do everything in Spanish, if I do everything in English? So people are going to get confused. But actually, when you realize that when you are bilingual, you have more power. You have the power of two instead of the power of one.
You get like a double punch. Boom, boom.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So that's why I've been traveling just to serve my clients and to obtain new clients to explore this area. I actually explore Australia now, exploring more Colombia, because when I was in Colombia 22 years ago, I didn't have a car, so I didn't have the chance to travel and see the beauty. So now that I have the time, the freedom, the money, it's like, let's go. So it's been so, and I would say like a blessing journey.
Well, I love it. And, I really want to open up in this aspect because one thing that we were talking about before we started recording live was belief. And maybe we hadn't planned this, but I think maybe this is where God's leading us is when somebody doesn't believe in themselves, they tend to self-sabotage themselves. When they don't believe in what they're capable of, when they don't believe that they can be a successful human being, much less a successful business owner. How important is belief to a person's life and business, Candy?
It's super powerful. That's one of the things that I do when I get my team together, especially we talk about the beliefs about the company, the core values and the things that we offer. And as a business owner, as a client, I empower them to make sure that they believe in their product, that it's a service, that it's a benefit for them. Because when you don't believe and the things that you have around, it is no way that you will be able to offer it to somebody else. So if, for example, if I get a client and they were like, Candy, I want to start this business, blah, 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 blah. And then they start sabotaging, perfectionist is going to start kicking in, pride is going to start kicking in. And then the other one that is the one that I hated is procrastination. so, so this person starts self-sabotaging because they compare themselves with others and they feel that they are not being the person, the genuine, the beautiful human being that is there to empower others. So when they don't believe in themselves that they are capable to do something, they automatically start closing their own doors.
Mm. I told you, ladies and gentlemen, she's going to drop some massive wisdom. So think about this opening statement that Candy just said. Where are you not believing in yourself? That's the root cause right there. But where is the symptom showing up? The biggest one she said right now is procrastination. Where are you procrastinating? Where are you self-sabotaging? And procrastination is a huge form of self-sabotage. Where are you not believing in yourself? And I love the way you said it. Where are you closing your own door? Are you closing your own door and writing that book? You know you should write a book and you're not writing the book because you're thinking, who's going to read my book? Or maybe you're criticizing just the way you look on camera. So you're like, I'm not even going to do a live. Where are you closing that door? I love the way you said that, right? Where are you closing the door at? Let me ask you this. When you started, and because you're very successful now, everybody sees the beautiful Candy out there, and you're traveling, you're living your life, you're doing amazing things. What were two areas of your life that you found yourself closing the door, Candy, to say that you like, oh, I need help with this, and how did you handle that?
Okay, yeah, I that was something that yeah, I was talking with my coach like 3 or 4 weeks ago. And that was an occasion when I was finishing my master's degree, and my advisor told me, your English sucks, Candy. To become a better communicator, you have to work really, really hard. And when I started looking for a job, the last thing that I want it was to speak with somebody on the phone because somebody just flew and put the seed in my mind that I was not a really good communicator and I was not able to do that. So when I started this job as a recruiter, I had to make phone calls. I freaked out. I was scared, like you don't have no idea. I was like, I don't know. My heart started beeping and started sweating. Who I'm gonna be calling? Da, da, da. And then is when I realized that I have to work on that. And that's when I started like doing recordings, doing voice recording, doing videos, even though people don't understand. I was like, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. But I hide myself for a while because of the fear of judgment, of fear of what the other people would think about my accent, of the fear of this being discriminated because of my accent or the way that I was running sentence, everything together. And I was completely afraid. And that's when I decide, no, this is had to stop. That's when I start like doing things online. And even you can go on Facebook, on my Facebook, go to my first video. It was horrible, but I'm so excited to see that it's horrible because that's how I see how much I have evolved. You know what I mean? So right now I can speak English very well. I can speak Spanish very well. And I don't have that fear anymore. But that was one of the things that I feel like the fear of judgment, the fear of being discriminated because, oh my God, Candy, the accent, the way that she speaks, blah, 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 right? And also it was closing my doors to succeed as a professional. So when I overcome that, because I make a decision, guys, it's a decision that you need to make with less than 5 seconds when you say enough is enough and I need to do something about it, whatever it costs, but you have to overcome that. And that's how I did it.
You know, I love the point that you bring up. I love the word that you said, evolved. You evolved from the first live that you did to the person that you are now. And now you're even doing challenges, which is amazing. I love it. And I was blessed to be a guest on your show. I think so many people miss that part where they want to be great and amazing from the get-go. And sometimes it doesn't happen that way. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to understand that. Listen to what Candy's heart says. She evolved from being ridiculed of her English, and she started where she was at. And she didn't delete that video because it reminds her of how far she's come. Where do you need to remind yourself right now of how far you've come? Maybe you're being really hard on yourself right now because just like Candy, that professor, that person that was insecure themselves. Let me say that again. That professor that Candy had that was insecure herself dropped this in her mind because she wanted to make herself feel better by ridiculing Candy. And first of all, you shouldn't do that, right? I mean, that's just bad for a professor or anybody in leadership to be doing that. Like, that's a no-no, right? Like, shouldn't be doing that. But the fact that Candy overcame those negative words that were spoken over her, I want you to think about that also. What negative words do you need to overcome that? Maybe an ex-friend, an ex-boss, an ex-lover, somebody and a family member that just try to drop these because they weren't happy with themselves, so they're ridiculing you. So be kind to yourself and understand that it's it's an evolution. You have to evolve. And now Candy is having these challenges and people in her group, and it's just amazing what she's done. But you have to overcome that fear of judgment, and you have to overcome that fear of just criticism. Because I've realized, Candy, that if somebody's unhappy, sometimes they're going to try to make you feel unhappy. And the fact that you evolved so much, you know what I thought about when you said that is that I thought about one of my first speaking videos. A friend of mine saw it on my old YouTube page, my first one. He goes, "Man, you sucked. I wouldn't have hired you." I said, "Man, I wouldn't have hired myself. I would have paid you not to be on stage, Daniel."
But that's the gift of overcoming the perfectionists. That's something that's actually you start self-sabotaging. And one of the things that I was thinking always, it was like a recording in my mind. I'm not worth enough. I'm not enough. I cannot be like this person because this person has this person has that. And when I joined to, multimillionaires and I joined to this mastermind, is when I realized that everyone was the same. Just they have more money in the account. That's it. But we were all the same. We were having the same struggles, the same fears, the same journey. We're all evolving in the same different pace in our life and our journey as a professional and as a business owner. So that's when I realized, hello, Candy, you can do this, you can do this. And that was not like no and oh, it was not enough for me to stop me to doing what I'm doing right now.
And imagine how many Candies are out there that stop, that come from a different country to America. Maybe it's from Mexico, maybe it's from Brazil, maybe it's from Germany or in English, whatever it is. You come to America and you have this accent, and you've allowed the fact that you have a strong accent to kill the dream that God's put in you. And Candy, you didn't allow that. You were like, no, forget this. I'm gonna overcome this. Let me ask you this. What did Candy learn about herself once she got over the fear of judgment and she overcame the fact that I'm who I am. I'm Colombian. I'm beautiful. I love myself, and I'm learning English. I'm trying to improve. When you finally got that in your mind, what shifted and what did you learn about yourself in that?
So the first thing is that you're always thinking about that you have to have everything to be ready. And when I learned that I don't need to have everything right, be ready, that's when, oh, that was a huge breakthrough for me. I was like, no, Kandy, we are in a progress of learning. And it's like, my mentor, John Maxwell said, if you are not in a learning journey, you're dying, you're not growing. So I was like, oh, that just taken my mind. I was like, I remember I was reading the book. And when he would mention that, he said, that they just spoke to me immediately. I was like, I'm in a journey that I'm learning every day. I'm becoming better and better. And of course, whatever I'm saying today, in 1 year or 2 years later, I'm going to be like, oh, I should have said this even better, because that's how much you have been growing from that. But if I say, oh, that was better than today, that is a problem.
And you're right. If we're not learning, we're not growing, right? If we're not green, when we're green, we grow. When we ripe, we rot. And if you're not right, if you're not progressing, you're digressing, and it's so true. And just look at that right now. Look at all you've accomplished. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to look in the camera and talk to the people out there that are feeling insecure, and maybe because maybe for them it's not an accident, maybe they don't feel beautiful or they feel overweight, whatever it is. Give those people right now, look in the camera and give them a word of encouragement, please, Kandy.
Okay, beautiful. So I'm looking at you. So the first thing that most of us does is that we always look for validation. We always look for words of encouragement. We always look for somebody acceptance, for somebody to say how beautiful you are, how smart you are. But guess what? That communication comes from within. That communication comes within, and you are the only one who's going to validate your work. You are the only one who's going to tell yourself how beautiful, amazing, how strong, how handsome you are. And you are the only one who's going to have that communication internally of how powerful you are. When you believe in yourself, when you know that you're capable for anything to do, whatever it comes of distractions, disruptions, or anything in your life, if you have a strong belief of yourself and that you're capable, that you are enough, and that you are in a learning journey, is when whatever people say around you means nothing to you.
Boom, baby, there she is. Kandy Windom. Woo, there it is. I love the way you explained it. I wanted to see how you were going to explain it. So think about what Kandy just said. Where are you seeking outside validation? Where are you seeking outside approval? Where are you seeking for people or things to make you happy when that validation needs to come from within you? Write this down, ladies and gentlemen. All that you need is within you now. All that you need is within you now. All the wisdom, all the beauty, all the smarts, all that you need is within. God's already equipped you. And not only that, God's already validated you and approved you. And Candy's right. The moment you shift that from the outside validation to when it comes from internal, man, there's a sense of peace that you're like, who cares what they think? Who cares what they say? Isn't that powerful?
Yeah, super powerful. And that's when the people will stop self-sabotage themselves. That's when that little word that I hate saying it over and over is going to disappear from you, because you know that even if you make a mistake, you're in a learning. You never lose. You're going to be learning new things and new ways. And especially when you're in business. So don't let that stopping you to do what you want. Because normally when somebody don't hire me, it's not because they don't trust me, because they are in my challenge. It's not because they don't believe in the offer. They know that has a lot of value. They just don't believe in themselves that they are capable to make the 100K, to make the 1 million, because they have this self-sabotage. I can do this. I don't know. This is
Say
not for
that
me.
again. Say that again. When they don't, it's not the offer. It's not. I love the way you explain this, Candy. It's not the offer that Candy makes. It's not the fact that it's Candy. It's what is it again? I want people to
The
catch.
trust.
They
It's
don't.
not the trust. It's not that they don't trust me, and it's not that my offer doesn't have enough value. It's because they do not believe in themselves that they will be able to have the results that they want.
So think about that for a moment, ladies and gentlemen. It's not Candy. It's not Daniel. It's not anything that you're investing in. It's the lack that you don't believe that you can do it. Would you say so another way we could say it too, maybe. I mean, I don't, this is I'm interviewing you, so I'll get your is what comes to mind is they don't trust themselves. So since they don't trust themselves, would you say, right? They don't trust themselves, so therefore they don't believe in themselves. So it's really maybe a deeper trust issue that they're not even aware of. You think that's a possibility, Candy?
Yes, that is a possibility. That is a possibility, and I believe 100% of that. Because for example, in my program, I push and I have a 200% accountability. And when they see that I said, hey, you have to do this by this date, and they feel pushed and they're not, the first thing that they do is that I don't want to be more in your program. This is not for me. It's because you're being coached. They just not being coachable. They are not being willing to do the work and to take max action. They just want to take information. And that's one of the things that I shared, Daniel, too, is that I don't want you to take information. Go to YouTube to take information. Here is to take action.
Oh, yes, it's to ignite people into action, right? Candy is igniting people to action. I love the comment you just made, because listen to what Candy just said. So many times people will hire a coach, they'll hire a mentor that they pay for, and then there's accountability that comes into play. They've never been held accountable before, and all of a sudden Candy's saying, hey, well, you got to do this. Well, what do you mean? Like, why are you being mean? Well, no, you're being coached. It's not that Candy's being mean. Like, you paid Candy, to be honest with you, you paid Candy to take you to another level. And so many of us, we don't realize how strong our belief is in some areas that we want to stay there, right? It's kind of like we have these deep tree roots, right? These deep tree roots. And sometimes you got to just get the chainsaw and cut those roots off. But sometimes people, they don't like it, and they're like, no, you know what, it's forget it. And they self-sabotage themselves. So they rather leave I love that, because it just shows that me and you think alike, and we care about people. And I think sometimes people misinterpret the fact that they want everything to be like, oh, I love you. Oh, yes, like a puppy love. No, like, sometimes, do you believe, Candy, you got to give people and your clients tough love? Like, hey, man, it is what it is. Like, you got to get tough love sometimes.
Yes, and it's especially what I do with my clients is, and guys, you gotta take a note on this. When they said, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and I said, okay, go on your calendar, book it, and send me a message that you're committed to do it. They were like, well, but I'm telling you my word. I said, no, you take action now, book it on your calendar, send me a message that you're committed to do this by this time, and then we go from there. And because this is something, Daniel, that self-sabotage comes in two ways. One, that they don't believe in themselves that they can do it. But the other one is they want to confirm by hiring you or me or anybody else that they cannot do it. So even though they spend the money, say, hey, husband, hey, wife, hey, kids, I just hired this mentor. It's not waiting 1 year, they're still stuck in the business. They just want to continue confirming that they are in a stuck situation. So when that happens, so that is the two games that the people are playing, because they want to confirm by hiring you. Yes, your program doesn't do anything, but it's because they don't take max action. And when you push them, they back up, and that's when they like see you, right? So there are two ways. One of they are not believing in themselves internally, and the other one is the validation to others that doesn't work. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like when they feel like, no, coaching is BS. Coaching is people that can make money. Coaching is this. You won't be able to be successful. That is a BS story. But they want to hire somebody just to confirm that story is real. But it's because they don't make a massive action. You know what I mean?
You know,
So
as you're saying that, what comes to mind is that, and I'm guilty of this because I'm trying to be more aware in this, right? It's kind of like how are you approaching things? If you're approaching things with the wrong mindset, with the closed-minded approach, well, then it's not going to help you. But if you're approaching something with an open mind that, man, I'm going to benefit from this, it usually turns out amazing. And it's all on the approach. How are you approaching coaching? Are you approaching it like, man, I can't wait to learn from Kandy? Or, oh, what am I going to learn from Kandy? I'm going to go through the steps, right? They go through the motions, but they don't really open up their heart and mind to receive everything Kandy has to offer. And
yes.
they miss it.
And that's what we call the other self-sabotage, because the one is that they don't believe in themselves and they want to buck up. The other one is they played the game. That's what I call these people are not congruent. So when I want to admit somebody because they have to apply to be part of the program, and it's, are you congruent? How high is your congruency? Do you do what you're saying that you're going to do? Because if you say something and you don't do, I don't want you in my program because you're going to fall off. Because it's like, hey, guys, you got to do this time. Hey, book, this is the month, in September, we already scheduled in September, what is going to happen. So if they are not moving fast, they're going to be behind because they don't have the congruency that they need to. And that's one of the things that I use to say, yes, you are part of the program because you have the congruency that it needs to do. You have what it takes, the hunger, the congruency, the consistency, and the hunger, it's super important, the hunger, because if you don't have that, that's something that it will fall off because you then will be like, you will have not a business, you will have a hobby and a wishy-washy business. So.
Wow, you just dropping. Where's this new Kandy coming from? I've known you for 5 years now, over 5 years, and I'm like, man, look at this girl. You're not the same Kandy that I met 5 years ago. Let me tell you, like your mind has grown, your wisdom has exploded, and it's just you bring a lot of like truth, though, right? I mean, what you're talking about is you're talking about truth.
Yes.
So think about that. What Kandy is saying. Where are you self-sabotaging yourself? I know we talked about that, but really think about it. Are you doing it in a way that you're seeking to prove something right that it really maybe isn't healthy? Maybe you're saying, you know what, I'm gonna go to the gym, but it's not gonna work out. But if you're going with that approach to go to the gym to get fit, and you think it's not gonna work, well, it's not gonna work because that's a deep core belief that is inside of you. That paradigm is running your mind and running the results because you say, oh, it's not gonna work. Well, it's not gonna work. But are you being the person that let me try it because I really want to change my life and I need some accountability. I need some hard truth. And I love what you're saying, Kandy, because it's like you need to give them some hard truth, some tough love sometimes. And let me ask you this. I'm curious. What's some tough love that you got that you didn't like, but you really needed it?
The tough love for me or for
Yeah.
somebody?
No, you like when is the time that somebody gave Kandy some tough love and you're like, but you're like, I needed that, but you didn't see it at first. That somebody que te dijo, tienes que hacer esto, ta, ta, ta. No, estoy bien, right? Like, I'm okay. But after you thought about it, like, no, I needed those words, right? That's what
Yeah, of course. I had that. My coach almost killed me, honestly. So I had this belief that I will be able only to hang out with CEOs and professional people in LinkedIn. That Facebook was just people that goes by, that was trashy, that was nothing there. So when my coach told me, he said, okay, you need to do this on Facebook. And I said, Facebook? My niche is not on Facebook. My niche is in LinkedIn. That's where I find the CEOs. That's where I find the managers. That's where I find the business owners. And then I put my business in a hold for 6 months just because I didn't take action. He told me to do something and I didn't do it because I didn't believe in that. Then when he said, Kandy, are you ready to take action? And I say, okay, I'm going to do it. when I started working on my Facebook account, and then when I knew and I learned that it works, it literally, I was like, what an idiot. Kandy,
Mm.
you were so stubborn. And that stubborn caused me 6 months of not making money just because I didn't believe on my coach that I needed to do something, because my belief was on LinkedIn. And it's amazing how in Facebook I hang out with all the CEOs that I don't even connect in LinkedIn. Everyone is in Facebook. So guys, sometimes our own beliefs is our own stuck situation.
Wow.
That's all I want to say.
No, but it's powerful because I mean, people always talk about Instagram and they say, oh, Facebook is nothing but drama. Well, no, it's drama if you attract people with drama. I mean, that's the way I see it. I don't really, but if you're looking for the drama, guess what you're gonna find? Drama. If you're looking for CEOs, guess what you're gonna find? CEOs. So I think your content that you put out there is gonna attract the right person, and I'm loving what we're talking about because it's so true. We limit ourselves, and I love LinkedIn because I get a lot of clientele from LinkedIn, but I get a lot of clients from Facebook also, and starting to get some from Instagram because my thinking was like, right, Instagram's just there, but there's people out there. People, I don't think people realize this, Kandy. I think people expect somebody to like your post or to like a video to demonstrate that I'm following Kandy. When the truth is, most of the people that are going to reach out to Kandy for help to hire you, they're never going to comment on your stuff. They're never going to like a post. You just might receive a DM and say, hey, I need some help. And like, where did that person come from? You
It
did.
happens all the time. It happens with the people that I actually connect. They join to my challenge. Sometimes they just hire me like 3 or 4 months later. They don't hire me right away because they still like on this, oh, I gotta shopping around. Maybe this one, maybe this one. But they don't go with their gut. If they gut saying this is the right person. But I have CEOs that come to me and say, hey, I want to be part of your C-suite leadership journey interview. And so I was like, I never saw you. You never come in. I never have sent you a message, but you have watched my interviews and that I've been connecting with only CEOs. So they were like, wow. So there is that people are watching you all the time, 24/7. That's why you gotta pay attention on what you do, what you share, the comments that you make, because people are watching you. And the people who are watching you are more willing to be part of your journey than people that actually commented on LinkedIn. Because sometimes it happens that they comment on LinkedIn, but they don't respond to any messages, to any connection or any invitation or nothing. They just completely ghost you. So one of the things that I would suggest you, if you ever have this belief about that everyone has to like and commenting on your stuff to be able to run a business, it's not the right thing. You just gotta be you.
You're exactly right because I remember there was a gentleman that had a huge following on Instagram, and he had signed up for some stuff with us, and he made a couple of payments, and then I said, hey, you got to pay your bill. And you think because they have 15,000 followers that, right, they got revenue coming in, and I think so many people are right? They're misguided to think that because you have a large following that, oh, it's gonna equate to a huge sum of money. No, like, and I'm like, hey man, like we've been patient, like we delivered for you, right? We delivered the products, and you owe us some money, and it was quite a bit. And well, I'm waiting for somebody else to pay me before I can pay you. I'm like, well, that's not the way you run a business. I said, but in my mind, I'm thinking like this guy has a huge following on Instagram. Like, how can you not pay your bills, man? Like, how can you not? And I think, and I bring this up because I think in business for me is one thing that I really try to do. And I've said this before is, as soon as I get an invoice, as soon as a vendor sends me something, I pay it because I know what it's like not to have the money. I know what it's like to need the revenue, and people that you have to chase down. It's like, you know what, that customer's not for me. And I've learned that, like kind of what you're saying, you have to, are they congruent with what I'm doing? And sometimes you have to ask yourself that question. Is the customers that I'm boarding, the ones that I'm enrolling into my programs, into my coaching, into my events, Are they congruent, or are you just trying to sell something? And I think that's something that we all need to evaluate a little bit deeper, because right at the end of the day, you want to help people, but you got to find people that are congruent with what your core values are and believe in what you're doing. And I love what we're talking about. Man, we're having so much fun, Candy. We need to have another episode. Jeez.
But the point is that, to talk about the self-sabotage, because that's something that most of the people do. I would say 90% of the population go through it. And the only way that you can overcome that is to first believe that you are enough and that you're in a journey of progress, that you are learning, growing, and becoming more and do more as you go. But if you feel like you need, because perfectionists, oh my God, that is a killer. That is a killer, because the book has to be perfect, the post has to be perfect, the program has to be perfect. You know how many times I have changed my program? Many. My signature system, 4 times already, because I had to test it, and whatever my client told me what they need, I have to adjust it. It's like Apple. They don't have the same product for the rest of their life. They have that product every year. And that's what we do too. We upgrade our programs. So you upgrade yourself every day. So stop self-sabotage, believe in yourself. And when you are committed to something, do it anyway. It's like, I remember when Daniel, have you done any skydiving?
I'm about to actually. That's my goal before the end of the year. Actually, I was talking to a client of mine about going to Atlanta and doing a skydive with them. So it's in the works, but I haven't done it. But I told him
Yes.
I'm a little scared. Have you done
Well,
it?
yes, twice already. So the first time that I decided to do it, I I literally did it because I was afraid of heights. So something that I learned becoming part of this incredible inner circle that I am, they were like, whatever the fear is, do it anyway. Do it anyway. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna jump. And yes, I was afraid. My heart was like fast, and I was like ready to jump from the airplane. But it was so beautiful and so peaceful that I did it again. And now I'm not afraid of elevators anymore. I'm not afraid about walking on the stairs. I'm not afraid of to look it down. And actually, I went to Australia to look on those. They have like a clear windows that you can see all down the cascadas and the waterfalls and all that stuff. And I was like, this is beautiful. And people were like scared, and I was like, this is amazing. So you lose you lose so much when you keep in your fear stuck in there. You just gotta do it anyway. Just jump, get it done again and again and again until
Yes. Well, I'm
it's
excited.
gone.
I'll let you know when I jump from the airplane, and then I want to do it. I want to do it because I need to do it to get over that, right? Because something releases when you do something that and because we were in Marina Del Rey, and we were on the yacht, and I was jumping off the top floor, and it was like 30 feet. It was high, and I jumped, and I kind of went. I went a little bit crooked, but it was an experience to jump. He goes, dude, I didn't even think about it. A friend of mine called me, goes, hey Daniel, how was it to jump in the ocean? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, yeah, bro, like it's not a pool, it's not a lake. Like a lake, at least there's a bottom to the lake. There's not a bottom to the ocean. I'm like, I didn't think about that, but his perspective made me think like, wow. He goes, dude, it could have been a shark or a dolphin, or like you're jumping into the ocean, bro. He goes, how was it? I was like, man, it was
Jonathan Tani.
it was cold as I mean, it was cold, but it was just I love what you're saying, so I'm gonna do that. How do we get a hold of you, Candy? When somebody wants to work with Candy, how do we get a hold of that beautiful smile?
Oh my God. So the first thing, make sure that you can find me on WhatsApp as a Kandy Windom. My phone number is 813-304-8946, and all over social media. Please connect with me. We have a really amazing group that you can be part of. Daniel is part of that. So we have a lot of multimillionaires, billionaires, people who's just starting. So we have everything in there. But my inner circle is very powerful. So if you're looking for community, you're looking for a powerful place where you can connect with others, that is the place.
Oh, Kenny, thank you so much for being here with us on the show. You were an amazing guest. I don't want to leave yet, but time flies by when you're having fun. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back next week with another amazing guest here on the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show. And if you're stuck in life, you're stuck in business, I want to encourage you to go to danielgomezglobal.com. That's danielgomezglobal.com and fill out our free assessment for our entrepreneurs. We definitely want to give you that value and give you a complimentary 45-minute discovery session as our gift from us to you for just being part of this show. And then go to our website, themakingsofamillionairemind.com. That's themakingsofamillionairemind.com, and get an autographed copy of our book. It'll bless you. It'll make a difference. We've sold thousands of copies, and we're still getting testimony after testimonial. And we want to help you get out of stuck. It's right. Get unstuck, because we want to help you in life and in business. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, thanks, Kandy, for being here with us. We'll see you next week here on the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show. This is Daniel Gomez Inspires, and thank you for listening to our show today. Please share this episode with a friend, leave us a review, and subscribe to our show. And for listening to our show today, I want to give you a free gift. I want to invite you to our Millionaire Mind community. Text the word millionaire, that's millionaire, to 210-942-5059. Yes, join our community today and receive millionaire affirmations, inspirational quotes on a weekly basis. That's 210-942-5059. Text the word millionaire today and join our community. And once again, thank you for listening to our show.